Welcome back to Big Movie Mouth Off, the podcast where three Salt Lake City-based critics fire off about film. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I am Adam McDonald.
It is episode 27, gentlemen, but it is the first episode of 2025, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
As promised, we will do our top 5 films each of 2024. Now, I have to make the point that this is not necessarily the way we're going to vote for films with our Film Critics Association. I think there'll probably be some overlap, but these are our favorite films, not necessarily the ones we nominated. Here's the process, guys. We'll go 5-1. And I've got an order so that we don't have to go all in the same place for each film. So starting with number 5, it's going to be Brooks, me, and then Adam. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Let's start with number 5. Brooks, what was your number 5 movie of 2024?
Well, I mean, come on. Would it be a shocker if I didn't include something like The Substance?
Okay.
I'll bet it just blew your mind, Counts.
You've been talking about this movie for over a month, and I finally saw it, and I was with you until the end. But talk about why you love it. It doesn't matter what I think of it.
Well, it's got Demi Moore in probably her best role.
Career defining, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And it just says a lot about the industry and where it's been, where it should be headed. And just the performances are great. The direction's great. The effects are amazing, especially in the finale. When we finally get our money shot.
I'm going to say something now that will probably be kind of spoilery, but I'll say this. If you loved the video game Inside, you're going to love this movie.
So not the Christmas movie.
Just by the way both pieces of culture end. That's all I'll say. But the last few minutes of that film are pretty intense and the effects are great. You're right about that. So The Substance, good choice. All right, I'm going to go next. My number 5 movie of the year is not going to surprise anybody. We just talked about it on the last show. I loved and still love Luca Guadagnino's Queer. I thought that the vision was brilliant. I was particularly appreciative of proof that Luca knows how to stick a landing, because the 2 movies of his that are getting talked about this year, I think, are in the wrong order critically. More people like Challengers than are probably going to like Queer. And I think they're wrong, because Challengers, though it is a good movie, it's a great ensemble cast, the ending betrays the entire thing. We've talked about it before on the show, and I have certainly bothered the 2 of you with my opinions about Challengers many, many times. But I think Queer is note perfect. Great performance by Daniel Craig. It looks so fantastic. One of you called it this year's Poor Things, and I think that's a compliment. So yeah, for me, Luca Guadagnino's Queer, tip of the hat to Daniel Craig. Adam, what's your number 5?
Well, I think Queer would be higher on the list, but it had boy kissing. So I think that distracted some people from
Whose list? Everyone's list. Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So it's kind of funny because you mentioned earlier these are our favorite kind of films of the year, not so much what we think are the best of the best. But I would be remiss not to bring up as my number 5 is The Fall Guy. Because here's the thing is, it really draws attention to the stunt community some way we've never seen it before.
Yeah.
It pays homage to all their hard work. And if you haven't seen it or watch it again, go through the credits, because you get to see a lot of the actual stunt coordinators and performers doing their job. It set a world record for flipping a car during the show. And what's not to love about Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt having fun? So
they're very good together. The chemistry is incredible.
Oh yeah, perfect chemistry. It's a ton of fun. And you know, if I'm having a bad day and I want to cheer myself up, Fall Guy goes in and I feel a lot better. So
great choice. All right, so real quick, our number 5s, Brooks.
The Substance.
Mine was Queer, and Adam?
The Fall Guy.
All right. Like a fantasy draft, Adam, you went last in that round. You get to go first in this round. It's going to be Adam, Brooks, and then me. So number 4 movie of the year, Adam, what was yours?
Okay, so I'm going a bit artsy fartsy now. I saw this way back in, I want to say June or July, but I had to go with Tuesday. It's just magnificent performance. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is amazing. There's no one bad here, and just the tale of how people deal with death, especially of a loved one that you want to ignore it as much as you can, and you kind of like stick your head in the sand. But when death finally shows up, and in this case, it's a giant bird, you do everything you can to kill it, but in the long run, you can't delay death. And it does a really good job of kind of paying homage to Death Takes a Holiday and Meet Joe Black, where it shows that, yeah, you know what? If things and people can't die, that's a bad thing. And the very, very last scene of that movie is just poignant and personal and powerful. And I couldn't have ended it any better way.
I did love that film too. It's
Mhm.
wonderful. Tuesday. Great, great choice. All right, Brooks, you're next. What's your number 4?
Probably might be surprising, but it's September 5th.
That is surprising.
Yeah,
I mean, I
love
loved it
It's-
too. But
I
why?
mean, it's like 90 minutes long. That right there is 4 stars in itself. But I mean, it's a wham bam, thank you, ma'am kind of movie, and I like that and I appreciate it, especially because of what it deals with. Everything is so in the moment and just people reacting to what's going on, and it just flies by. The acting's spectacular, the editing is so precise. It's just awesome from start to finish.
Don't you find, Brooks, that with movies like that are such genre films that have so many things that they can be compared to, the Race Against the Clock press thriller has been done a lot. So to be able to say something kind of new and do it in a way that gets your attention, I think is really special. It's a great
Mhm.
film. You saw it too, Adam, right?
Oh yeah, it was one of the ones so during this time of year, as we've talked about before, where it's finals week, we're cramming like crazy,
Yeah.
and sometimes you're watching 2.5, 3.5 hour films, and
Mhm.
suddenly you come across one, you're like, oh, it's an hour and a half, yay!
I know I can fit this
I
in
Feels
between.
like a break.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like you're taking a recess. No,
It
it's
does.
pitch perfect. It actually is in my top 5 that I nominated this year. I didn't get nominated, unfortunately, but just to see this historic moment where we finally had satellite, we were broadcasting live from the Olympics, and we had a news crew that was the sports crew breaking this huge story, and the way
Yeah.
it brought in like Peter Jennings and all like the archival footage. It almost makes you forget the ending until it comes, even though we know the history of what happened.
Yeah.
It almost still comes as that slap in the face where you're like, oh, wait, that's right, this happened.
Mhm.
So I can't say anything bad about it. So
John Magaro is going to be really hard to beat in Best Supporting too. Great choice, Brooks. September 5. All right, my turn. My number 4 film of the year. It's my turn to go a little off the beaten path, but I think you both will agree that this movie was wonderful. I'm picking a little Latvian animated film called Flow.
yes,
I
So good.
loved this movie. It's animated, as I said, but not in the way that you're used to with Disney and Pixar and DreamWorks. It's a cell shade animation style and no dialogue at all. It's about animals. There's a huge flood that covers their world, and them just dealing with this new reality, this group of animals together with a cat as the main character. And if you know me, you know that I am not, capital N-O-T, not a cat person.
Me neither.
But I love this film so much. It just got me. I watched it fairly recently, so I don't have a second viewing, but I know that everything I wanted from an animated film and from a heartwarming, incredible perseverance story was in Flow. So that's my number 4. My number 4 again is Flow. Brooks,
September 5th.
Adam,
Tuesday.
we're going to take a little break, catch our breath, and then we come back. We're going to do our number 3 and number 2 films of 2024. Stay with us. And we're back on Big Movie Mouth Off. We're doing our top 5 films of the year, our individual favorite movies. We've done number 5, we've done number 4. Now it's time for number 3. I'll go first, then we'll have Adams, and then we'll have Brooks. It's very rare for me to have 2 animated films on my list, let alone in a row. Number 3 for me was DreamWorks' Wild Robot. We talked about this
Hey.
movie a lot last year, and we all loved it for all the right reasons. The animation is top notch, the performance is incredible. The thing I said then, which I'll repeat now because I think it's important, is that I usually find DreamWorks to be lacking and lagging behind Pixar in the script department. But they finally came up with another product where the writing matches the drawing. The script is so good. Lupita Nyong'o, give me a break. Anything she does, she makes better. It's just a fact. And for her to get involved in something already perfect and elevate it even more as only she can do, I recommend seeing it many, many times because I've seen it twice and there's things I missed the first time. I was so glad to get another look at it. So my number 3, The Wild Robot. I suspect we'll be hearing that title again on this episode. Let's just wait and
Maybe.
see.
I
Adam,
have no idea what you're talking about.
Adam, what's your number 3?
So we've already kind of discussed it, but my number three is Queer for all the reasons that Count's already said. We did kind of discuss last episode if you were here about the Poor Things thing, but it just does everything so well. The acting's phenomenal, the cinematography's fantastic. I don't really know what else to say because we just so recently went over all of it,
Yeah,
but
we did.
it's not for everyone. I will say that, and I think Counts and I might be kind of alone in some of our film critic association. But that being said, I have talked to multiple who absolutely loved it just as much, but go in expecting a wild, crazy ride. You're not going to understand it all the first time through, but it's definitely something you should experience. And yeah, if you are in the LGBT culture or part of that umbrella, I think you might get some more out of it than people who aren't. But at the same time, Counts, you probably got as much as I did. I think it's a movie for everyone if you can put up with the boy kissing.
You brought that up in the last segment, and I think you're right about that being probably one of the things that will keep people from falling for this movie as much as you and I have. I hate to say it, but I do
Yeah.
think that's true. I also know that this movie is just polarizing from a style standpoint because some folks that I've talked to that saw it theatrically that aren't in our business really didn't get it. Like, really didn't get it. And no attempts to explain it by me, which weren't asked for, by the way, really helped. So I know it's a polarizing film. I know it's a difficult film to love, but I'm so glad that you do too, Adam.
Brooks, like you said last episode, was that if you didn't get the ending, you weren't paying attention.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
that's kind of, it ended how it had to, and it tied in a bunch of stuff that was briefly mentioned in the movie, also happened in real life. So yeah, it's up there. It's number three.
Good.
It wasn't as of this morning, but we'll find out more about that in a minute.
Oh,
So
these lists can be very shifty, that's for sure. All right. Number three, Brooks, what's yours?
Well, this is another probably kind of surprising one, but for me, it was Sing Sing.
You are surprising me
Yes.
today, Brooks.
I love this
You are.
movie. It's probably something that you would never think that well, I mean, we all know how much I obsess over a particular genre, but
Yeah.
this one is just the acting spectacular. The way that it's shot, it feels like a documentary.
It does.
And it adds that extra reality to it for me, let alone the fact that most of the people in the movie are playing themselves.
That was something that really pulled me out of Nomadland, but
Mm,
it pulled me in to Sing Sing. I thought that was a stroke of genius from the casting standpoint, using actual people who have been incarcerated and been involved with theatrical therapy. You love Coleman Domingo too, right, Brooks? I
well,
mean,
yeah.
like,
I mean, he
he walks
carries
on
the
water.
whole thing. So
He really does. I think the gentleman, his last name is Macklin. I'm drawing a blank on his first name, but he probably is going to deservedly be nominated for supporting.
oh, he's so
I'm-
good.
And I'm pretty sure it's the first thing he's done. So I'm
yeah,
He
really
co-wrote it too.
thrilled for him. Yeah, exactly. He's a
Well, and
very,
it's-
very strong presence.
it's interesting too because this is also the second movie this year that did theatrical therapy because we had Ghostlight at
Exactly. Right.
at Sundance, which wasn't my top five until 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
because it changes so much. But
Yeah.
the Brooks, like you said, it feels like a documentary. It feels like you're just watching these people's lives unfold as it does in real life, and it is because they were them, like they lived through it. So
Yeah. All right. Number three movies. Mine was Wild Robot. Adam,
queer.
Brooks.
Sing Sing.
Okay, number two. We're getting to the top of the list. It's going to start getting good now. The order for us now will be Brooks, me, and then Adam. Brooks, number two.
Well, this is my probably most artsy fartsy on the list, but it's already been talked about. For me, it was Tuesday. It's just so good.
It's
The
so good.
visuals are awesome. The performances are spot on. And the way it deals with the themes is so realistic. And it kind of reminds me in a way of The Descendants, the way it deals with death and the aftermath. And I mean, I know this isn't after someone's died, but it still has that same feel because a lot of people think you should just shy away from not comedy, but that's how it is. There's crappy
Yeah.
situations and you make jokes. That's just how life is. It's gallows humor, but everyone does it. No one talks about it. So it's nice when a movie implements it.
I think this movie is worlds better than The Descendants. I thought The Descendants was
yeah.
overrated, and this is
Yeah.
a much, much better film. But I do understand your comparison very much because it's dealing with death in a way that is sort of fresh and open and not just sad, which I think is a nice touch for this film. Great choice, Brooks. I think Tuesday is fabulous. So my number two, it won't surprise either one of you because we've been talking about it so much, The Brutalist.
Really, I thought that
Oh
was your
my-
number one.
It
Oh,
wow.
was. It was. It
Well, now
was.
we don't know what
Okay.
number one is.
It's probably going to be my number one in voting. because I do feel like this movie was an experience akin to when Chris Nolan comes out with something. When Chris Nolan releases a new film, it's an event. It's something you go to knowing that whether or not you like the film for its own merits, you are in for an experience, a cinematic love of film experience. And I thought that that's what The Brutalist was. We could go on forever about how incredible Adrian Brody is in this movie. I mean, off the charts acting. The script is great. The cinematography is incredible. The score is incredible. The direction's incredible. This movie can and probably will get nominated in every prestige category. It's that good. And look, there's a movie every year that kind of grabs everybody's attention. Is this the Oppenheimer of this year? Yep, totally. And I'm okay with that. I think it's just fantastic. Now, Brooks talked earlier about 90-minute movies and how they are automatic 4 stars. 3.5-hour movies do not automatically get 4 stars unless they pull
Not
it
usually.
off. And this movie pulls it off. It doesn't
Yes.
feel as long as it is. There's only 5 wasted minutes in this movie, in my opinion, and they're the 5 minutes at the end. That being said, absolute masterpiece, stunning movie experience for me. So my number 2 is The Brutalist. That takes us to you, Adam. What's your number 2?
So this is the one that messed things up, turned it head over heels, and that is Better Man. I just finally got a chance to yeah,
Yes.
Better Man. I just finally got to see it literally right before we record this. And I'm sorry, that movie's like catnip for me. You got the same director of The Greatest Showman, which I
Yep.
absolutely love. I
Yep.
love Robbie Williams. I love the conceit of his characters played by a CGI monkey, which goes back to what he says at the very beginning of the movie is that he feels like he's almost underdeveloped as a person and that his whole career has been his just dancing like a monkey for money and for acclaim. And that would have been fun. Like, it's a musical, very reminiscent of Elton John, Rocket Man, not quite as much flying and psychedelic stuff. But what I really liked about it too was, and we all know how big of a, proponent I am of mental health, just showing how he dealt with his depression and anxiety. And everyone's like, why are you depressed? You have the world. He's like, that's not how it works. Like, it's not you're depressed about something, you're just depressed. And seeing like all of his anxieties and everything in the audience as different versions of himself as the monkey, from a kid to his dad to everyone, constantly trying to eat him and kill him. And then at the end, there's that big fight scene.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone loves a rags to riches story. And you really get that. And I think it was beautiful. I think it was poignant. Wedded Workshop, if you want to watch, there's a cool behind the scenes, how they did the CGI for his character. But yeah, it was one of those ones where I'm like, why didn't I watch this earlier? I felt the same way about Rocket Man. It took me like 4 years to
This
finally
is-
watch Rocket Man.
This is why I didn't skip the screening because I love Robbie Williams. So
Yeah,
But-
well, it was one of those ones I couldn't make because
Yeah.
work called. But this is the one that really, really surprised me. I had no idea I was gonna like it, let alone this much. And yeah, it shook things up pretty hard just an hour and a half ago.
I
Wow.
love this.
I'm being silent because I haven't seen it yet. So I still have
Okay,
to
that's
watch
your
it, and I
homework.
will. I
So
will watch
tonight-
it.
We all have something.
Counts and I have an event we're both going to for different reasons. So
Mhm.
Counts, your homework is when you get home, you need to watch it, and you may actually need to email Paramount because the screener expired and they're being stupid about it.
No, I already have a new one. I'm good. So
Okay.
I have one that goes until the 9th. So I'll be
Okay,
able to
good.
watch it this week in plenty of time for UFCA. And now you have inspired me. Brooks has been talking about this movie for weeks. And now with your voice added to the chorus, I really don't have any choice. I have to be honest, never even heard the name Robbie Williams until this movie came out. It's just not
What?
my thing. No, it's just not my thing. I didn't know.
Really?
man.
But
I've been listening to
You
him for
didn't
like 25 years.
Like
It's not-
when
no.
Moulin Rouge came out, he did a duet with Nicole Kidman for Now I Go and Spoil It All by saying something stupid like I Love You.
yeah.
He had Rock DJ back in, was it 99 or 2000, where
Oh,
he
that-
like strips and then pulls his skin off and everything.
Speaking of
like,
Rock DJ,
yeah.
that thing's a showstopper.
Nothing you're saying is helping. I don't know who
And
this person
when
is.
you see it Counts, you'll also see a lot of things I love because it does those those long one takes
I
that
know,
I'm a
I
sucker
know.
for.
Yeah.
And it has
Mhm.
an amazing dance sequence that you got to go back and try to find the cuts because they do it even better than they did in Birdman.
Wow.
Or they did the whole thing in one take. I can't tell.
Birdman had that one really obvious cheat where they put the camera up at the sky and then came
Oh,
back
yeah.
down. But I mean, 1917 had to do something similar. So they all do
Yeah.
it. But okay. So Brooks, your number 2.
Tuesday.
Mine was The Brutalist. And Adam?
Surprisingly, Better Man.
Okay. Well, we are up to number 1. We're going to take one last break. And when we come back, we're going to do our 3 individual favorite films of 2024. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this special episode of Big Movie Mouth Off. I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Here we are. We made it. Number one. Our 3 favorite movies, our number 1 films of 2024. The order for this one is going to be Adam, Brooks, and then I get to bring up the anchor lap. You go first, Adam. What's your number 1 movie of the year?
Okay, so this is not just my number 1 for this list. It was my number 1 for voting, and I will be stumping for it horrendously when we meet. If you don't know me yet, you have to know. If you do know me, it's got to be The Wild Robot. This is the one that I saw the first trailer, and I was like, oh, it's kind of a cool concept. And then they started talking. I'm like, no, the animals shouldn't talk. And then I actually went and saw it, and I was blown away. I mean, Counts, you gave me crap for when I went out and said to the rep that it was this generation's Iron Giant, and then said on the show it's better than the Iron Giant. I'm so dedicated to this that I have a tattoo. I don't know if we talked about that previously.
We did. We've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it, but it was, I didn't mean to get a half sleeve, but now I have one.
Yeah.
It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this. My only complaint, like I said before, was I hate when a movie says the name of the movie in it. But if that's the worst thing you can say about something, that's nothing. That's so trivial. Like, the animation is gorgeous. The voice acting is incredible. The way people just disappear into their roles. Like, you won't know who half the people are until the credits roll. I mean,
Right.
yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, we know is part of it,
Yeah.
but you tell me who Mark Hamill is when you watch it before
Yeah.
you see the end of it.
Yeah.
It's a perfect film. It's just gorgeous. It's lovely. It's emotional. It's got a great story. And I mean, I've had one person I know who saw it who said it was good, but I kind of knew where it was going. I'm like, yeah, but it's not about the destination. It's about how you got there. And even if you know how you got there, there's still a lot of things you need to pick up along the way. So
You should put a mirror under the nose of that person because I'm not sure they're
Yes.
alive. There's no way not to love this movie. This is one of those movies that I just refuse to be objective about and tolerate anything other than a rave opinion. I agree with you. It was my number 3, not my number 1, but it is absolutely fantastic.
absolutely. And honestly, I know DreamWorks doesn't need the money, but I did buy it twice because I wanted to watch it when it first came out digitally.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought the 4K when it finally came out as well. So
Nice.
I
nice.
very rarely do that with movies. So
Well-
Wild Robot, ride or die.
Great choice. All right, Brooks, I have a feeling that there's going to be some similarities here, but what's your number 1 movie of the year?
Well, if we had to go with favorites, it'd be Terrifier 3, but we're not doing that. So,
You could.
so
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
You could.
I mean, well,
And way to sneak a bonus in. Nicely done.
I know, right? I mean, I guess I could do both. We can have a tie.
There we go. I'm done with that.
We'll
Okay,
do
we had a-
Wild
we had a-
Robot and Terrifier 3.
We had a
So,
tie in the UFCA Best Picture. We have
that's
6
true.
nominees.
Very
So-
good points.
Wild Robot. Talk about why.
Well, Wild Robot, as we've all discussed, and I believe we recorded a show on it, it's perfect from start to finish. I was kind of worried too, like with the animals talking, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, how can a robot talk to animals? But they actually explain it in a way that makes sense. And you're like, okay, yes. And from there, everything else just is icing on the cake. That was my one worry, and they knocked it out of the park.
All right, 2 votes for Wild Robot. I am going to talk about a movie we've also already talked about on this show, and it's for good reason. It's because it's great. My number 1 favorite movie of 2024, hands down, was Tuesday. I
Oh, okay.
am
Nice.
obsessed with this movie. I have been since I saw it. I saw it on a plane, if you can believe it. I was flying overseas looking for something to
wah.
watch and put it on and just couldn't believe how great it is. Everything you said, Brooks, about how it handles death is spot on. And one of the things I love most about it is how the death of Lola Pettigrew's character, the daughter of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, gets paused. It gets suspended because she knows she needs to help her mother through this process. So
Yep.
she kind of dies right away, but gets to delay the actuality of it so that she can make sure that her mom's going to be okay. That happens in the trailer. I'm not giving anything away, but that is a beautiful idea for a film. And it takes special actors to pull it off. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus has never been better than she is in this. I love everything she does. And she even raised my opinion of her more somehow because she's perfect for this role. The emotion, the reactions, the anger, the humor, as you said, Brooks, it's all so good. And the concept of a macaw that can talk and change size at will as the representation of death, it's so daring. It's so courageous. I think this is the most generous movie of 2024. All 3 of our number 1s are on all 3 of our lists. Very quickly, Adam, your number 1,
The Wild Robot.
Brooks,
Ditto.
and mine was Tuesday. Let's go through our top fives one more time for everybody. Adam,
So it's The Fall Guy, Tuesday, Queer, Better Man, and The Wild Robot.
mine was Queer, Flow, The Wild Robot, The Brutalist, and Tuesday. Brooks?
The Substance, September 5th, Sing Sing, Tuesday, and Wild Robot.
And Terrifier 3.
And
Yes.
Terrifier 3. Do you want to say anything about Terrifier 3, Brooks?
It's a perfect sequel. It takes everything from the first and second movie, ups the ante, adds more to the mythology, even if it gets a little convoluted and hopefully gets sorted out. But it does everything that worked so well with the first two and does it better.
Just so all of you know, this is important. One of the promises that Adam and I made to Brooks for 2025 is that we are going to feed his habits and we are going to talk a lot more about horror movies this year. We're going to
Well, this
see more
mostly
of
goes
them.
for you.
Okay. I've tried
I've
to.
always been pleasant about
Exactly.
You're
Adam
pleasant
likes
about it.
horror movies.
You're tolerant of it, Adam. I'm unpleasant. That's
So
what we-
I do like horror movies. I'm just a complete wimp, and I'm the one who's like looking away for when the killer comes out. But
Yeah.
what's so funny about this is obviously, Brooks, you love the Terrifier movies, and I'd seen the little memes of Art the Clown doing like, and I was like, you know what, screw it. It was like on Amazon, so I popped on the first one. So the one thing that I really appreciate about this, he makes these movies for $5. Like I think the first movie had a budget of $15,000 or $35,000, but you can't tell when you watch it the way he
No,
sets it
it
up
doesn't
and the
look like it.
cinematography, the practical effects, and he does all practical effects, by the way, which I
Oh,
love.
yeah.
And then you would never guess that it was made for a song. It's like he does better with money than Robert Rodriguez does, who we know is an amazing person about that. And yeah, every single movie he gets a little bit more money, a little bit more money,
But
and he
literally
makes-
only a little bit.
yeah, but he makes it
This
look
was
like
2 million is all.
yeah, and it's like a $50 million looking movie. So yes, it is gross, over the top. It's what you dare each other to go watch because every
Ugh.
single movie's got that one scene where you're like,
That's what you're there for.
Yeah,
I am biting straight through my tongue. My mouth is full of blood. I am
love it.
making
like the
a horror
movie.
Very
That
fittingly.
happens in a
I'm
scene.
making a horror movie, but no, we're going to be a lot more supportive of Brooks's passions and we're going to watch a lot more horror and talk about it. That's one of our 2025 promises to our friend. So, lots of great films on our 3 lists. I think it's been a wonderful year of movies. Every year has this moment. Sometimes it happens in October, sometimes it's in March where you're thinking, God, is anything good going to come out this year? And every year always ends up being spectacular. And 2024 was absolutely no exception to that. So before we go, let's do our coming attractions. Brooks, you go first.
Well, I wasn't sure what I was going to use because I had a list of movies pulled up and there's just too much goodness coming my way. But for me, it's Osgood Perkins' The Monkey.
Yeah.
It's based on a
Mhm.
Stephen King short story that I haven't read. It's on my to-do list before the movie comes out. And the trailer makes it look like another movie that's coming out soon this year, a Final Destination movie.
Mhm.
It's supposed to have some amazing kills and a sense of humor, which will go a long way for
Yes.
counts.
If you rewind 5 minutes, you'll know that I will be watching this movie and I will be talking to my friends about it. So I'm excited about this one too. Good choice. Adam, what's your coming attraction?
So I joked in our group chat that this one came up as a YouTube ad, and I was very excited by it. This is upcoming movie Steven Soderbergh's Black Bag.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I saw that on the list.
This is
yeah.
Fassbender's movie, right?
Yeah, Fassbender and Kate Blanchett.
Kate
and actually,
Blanchett, right.
Fassbender has a TV show coming out at the same time that's a very similar premise.
Mhm.
Oh.
But basically, they're married, they work for some kind of government agency, and we find out that someone betrayed the government, and it could have been Kate Blanchett. And the premise is, does Michael Fassbender have the guts to go after and possibly kill his wife if she is the one who stole whatever it is they're looking for? You got Pierce Brosnan in it as like the guy kind of in charge. It's got a great cast. And it's good to see Steven Soderbergh doing stuff again.
Totally. Good choice. I'm looking forward to that one too. The one that I chose for my coming attraction, I wonder if the two of you have even heard about it. It comes out of A24, which has had just the most unbelievable last 12 months. So many of the films we talked about today come out of that studio. A24 has just got to be one of the flagship producers right now. There's a movie coming out that they're doing called The Legend of Ochi. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but
No, I thought you were going to
it's-
go with like the war movie or the unicorn movie.
No, those both look good too, but this
Oh,
Legend
man, the
of
unicorn.
Ochi looks really interesting to me. It's basically this young woman. It's played by Helena Zengel. She was the one that was in News of the World with Tom Hanks.
Oh, I did see this trailer. Yes.
Yeah, and so she finds this little monkey-like creature on this remote island she lives on, and they've been taught their entire lives, the people who live there, to fear these animals, and she bonds with it and wants to bring it back home. So it's kind of like E.T. There's a little bit of Okja in it. I'm really excited about this. Now, if you listen to our last episode, you'll be shocked to hear that I'm excited about a movie that Willem Dafoe has a prominent role in. But I do love him. I just didn't like him in Nosferatu. So I'm really excited about The Legend of Ochi. Adam, what was yours?
Black Bag.
And Brooks.
The Monkey.
All right. We talked about a million movies on this show. If you haven't seen all of the things we mentioned, please get out and do so. Your plate will be so full for the next couple of months with all these incredible experiences. 2024 was a great year. We're into 2025 now. We're going to look back on 24 a couple more times in an episode upcoming where we talk about what our Critics Association got right and wrong. And
Yep.
we're also going to, when the time comes, talk about the Oscars and give our predictions. So until next time, I'm Jeff Counts.
I'm Brooks Bird.
And I'm Adam McDonald.
Thank you so much for being with us. Big Movie Mouth Off was produced and edited by me, Jeff Counts, and co-hosted by Adam McDonald and Brooks Bird. Our theme music is written by Brian Z. Richards, and this show is dedicated to the memory of our founders, Jeff Michael Weiss, and my partner in crime for over 5 years, the incomparable Jimmy Martin.